Hey everybody, this is a lesson on 3 reasons to use capital letters. Did you know there are 3 main reasons why we use capital letters? I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons, and I will use examples from this paragraph, which is in Canvas in the first writing assignment. This is a little paragraph that I wrote. So, the first reason is always use a capital letter to begin the first word of a sentence. And down below I have 3 examples. These are sentences from the writing. Here is my beautiful picture. This was taken about 10 years ago. I went hiking on this trail for 5 days by myself. When I look at these sentences, I have a capital H, a capital T, and a capital I. The reason why we have capitals in these places is because H is the first letter of the sentence, T is the first letter of the sentence, and I is the first letter of the sentence. So we don't have any choice. If that letter is in the first position of the sentence, then 100% we have to use a capital letter. Now, there's one difficult thing about this rule, that is that a comma is not a reason to use a capital letter. Take a look at this sentence. I'm not very athletic these days, but I used to be. So this sentence has 2 parts, and there's a comma in the middle. Here, but I used to be, it comes after a comma, and a lot of students want to put a capital B here, but that's not correct, because this is not the start of a new sentence. When we have a comma, we're putting a little break inside of a sentence, but we're not starting a new sentence. So keep a lowercase b in that situation. After a comma, generally you're going to use a lowercase letter. Okay, reason number 2 for capital letters. Always use a capital letter for the word I when you're talking about yourself. For example, I am not very athletic these days, but I used to be. So in this example, the word I, it has to be capital actually for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 and reason number 2 is the first word of the sentence, but also it's the word I that is always capital. I am not very athletic these days, and then we see the sentence continues, but I used to be. Here, the second I is not the beginning of the sentence, but it's still a capital letter. This is very important. The word I is just always capital 100% of the time when you're talking about yourself. So I am not very athletic these days, but I used to be. And in the second example, I would love to go back there someday. So this is another very strong reason for a capital. It's the beginning of the sentence, and it's the word I. Now, one thing to be careful about in reason number 2 is that I is a special case. Other pronouns like he, she, we, they, and you, they're not automatically capitalized. They're not the same as the word I. So here's just a possible example. My sister wanted to come hiking with me, but she had to work. In this sentence, we have the pronoun she, but it uses a lowercase s. And the reason is because it's not the word I. The word I is special, but he, she, etc., those are not automatically capitalized. And reason number 3, always use a capital letter for proper nouns. A noun is a person, place, or thing. So any word that's talking about a person or a place or a thing is in this category. But not all nouns are proper nouns. A proper noun is the exact name of a person, place, or thing. So when you need to say something's name or somebody's name, that's the situation for a capital letter. Here's a few examples of common nouns and proper nouns. So if I want to put the words teacher, like I have a good teacher, or the teacher is in the class, I don't put a capital T on teacher, or at least not automatically. But if I say the name of the teacher, like Professor Bates, this P and this B, because they're her name, they have to have a capital letter. Here's another example. My brother, that's a person, right? And you say, my brother is crazy. My brother's really nice. I know I'm talking about a person, but that's not his name. So that's a common noun. And then if I say his name, Henry, then that's a different situation. We need a capital letter for Henry. The same happens with places. So the word city is a common noun. I can say that city is big, that city is small, and I don't use a capital letter for city. But what if I say the name of the city? Modesto. Suddenly that has a capital M automatically if it's a name. A college is a place, right? Now, just the word college is not special. I can say, you know, I go to a big college, I go to a small college. I don't have to use a capital C. But if I say I go to Delta College, when I'm saying the name of the college, that's when I need a capital. And the word car is just a common word, a normal word. But if I say the name of the car, like a Corolla, then I need a capital C. So basically the rule is if it's a common noun, if it's just saying what a person is, what a place is, then we don't need any capital letters. But in these situations, if I'm talking about the exact name, then I need capital letters. So I hope that's clear now. There's one example from the paragraph. I said, this picture was taken 10 years ago in the Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. And you can see some interesting capital letters here, right? The first one is Shenandoah and then National and Park, capital S, N, and P. And these three words together, Shenandoah National Park, make the name of the park. So if I'm going to say the name of a park, I have to use capital letters. And then what do you think about this V right here? Good. That is another name of a place. It's not a park, but Virginia is the name of a state. So because it's the name, the exact name, I have to use a capital V. Here's another example. The name of the trail is the Appalachian Trail. If I say Appalachian Trail, then that's a name. It has two words in it, so capital A and capital T. And this is another interesting situation here. I have the same word with a lowercase t. This one is capital and this one is lowercase, and that's because in this situation, I'm just talking about a trail in general, and in this situation, I'm saying the name of the trail. So I need a lowercase t in some situations, a capital T in other situations, even though it's the same word. So these things can be a little bit tricky. Let's do a little practice. Here I have 5 different situations that I want to point out. I want you to pause the video, read the complete paragraph, and for these 5 examples, in your own mind or on a little piece of paper, write down the reason why you have a capital letter. Okay, pause the video. Ready to check your answers? Here are the reasons that I wrote. So for number 1, park needs a capital P because it's the name of a park. Virginia needs a capital V because it's the name of a state. It needs a capital I because it's the first word of a sentence. I needs to be capital because that person is talking about herself. And the at needs capital A because it's the first word in the sentence. So I hope that makes sense. That's the end of the presentation. After this, I want you to go ahead and take the quiz. In that quiz, you're going to see some sentences, and there's one mistake in each sentence. I want you to find the mistake. Good luck.